Hello and welcome back to Lucy. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see my audio things.
Fair.
Welcome back to Lucy's Luncheon. Today's menu features reoccurring item, Hudson.
Hello.
You did it right this time.
Hello. Shut up. I will hit you.
Can you turn my gain up just a little?
I was about to say, do you want to check gains?
Yeah.
Which one are you? 2?
I'm 2, yeah.
Your gain is all the way up. Nah, okay. Is
Really?
that better?
Yeah. Well, the audio lines are just bigger, so that
Okay.
works better. So I don't have to like.
Yours was pretty much all the way
shout
up, but I was
into
able
the
to click a
mic.
little more.
Woo. I think yours is good. I don't know.
Cool. I'm also just loud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly loud, but you know. Anywho, Elephant in the Room, Hudson's episode was the last episode.
Yeah.
Look, I have a busy schedule. Everyone else has a busy schedule. Basically, what happened is that the week, like the when the next episode was supposed to come out after yours, it was spring break, and show choir was over. So people
weren't staying after school.
Yeah, people weren't staying after school until 9 p.m. So I didn't have those like 3 hours of free time on Thursdays to record someone. So I just didn't. I did while I was packing for spring break, like record a quick voice memo, but I never imported it to my computer before we went on spring break. And then I didn't bring my computer, like I didn't get it back from school. So I just didn't have my computer over spring break and then didn't do anything. So that's on me, but at the same time, I don't care.
Fair.
So.
Very fair.
You know. Anyway, how has your life fared since the last episode?
It's been the exact same thing. It has been the exact same thing.
Have you watched Miraculous Ladybug yet?
No, I haven't. No.
I haven't. Well, I did start watching the Narnia movie with my family and actively texting you as it was happening.
Yeah, that was
that's
very
about
entertaining.
as much as I did with Narnia.
And then I sent you pretty pictures of Peter Pevensey.
You did, and I agreed that they were pretty pictures. If you hear any drum noises, it's Jason in the recording studio, or like a section of it in the
drum section.
The drum room. Yeah, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Yeah, ambiance. A nice little jazz behind our, I don't know. It's
jazz.
A luncheon, so who knows? Maybe this is brunch. I don't know.
I mean, fair.
I think I'm going to start introducing, like, bringing food to the thing. I don't want to make it ASMR, but I also, like...
Oh,
I like sharing meals with people.
Lunch.
You have cookies from lunch?
Yeah.
Like
school cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Because so I sit with Freddie at lunch, and Freddie always complains about having too much money. And so at one point...
like, how much money are we talking in the lunch account?
Like too much. Way too much.
Sorry, Jason's
You're
walking out
good,
now.
dude.
You're good. Bottom. Yeah.
But she, like, her family makes a lot of money. Which, I mean, fair.
You go here. So.
Yeah. But well, I don't remember when it was, but it was before spring break. I was like, I really want cookies, but I don't have any money in my lunch account. And Freddie goes, I do. And she runs. And I go, oh God, no. Oh God, no. And she comes back with a fat stack of cookies. and then nobody else at the table wanted to eat them. And so I ate them, but I felt guilty throwing them away, so I had to eat them all.
Yeah.
And then she kept doing that. Whenever she had a lunch with me, she would just buy a fat stack of cookies, but nobody else at the table would want one, so I would be stuck eating these cookies.
Which is crazy, because the cookies are pretty good. I mean, like, I can only have, like, one cookie or one and one half.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know why, but, you know.
Yeah. And I got really good at eating them fast, but then when I got my wisdom teeth out, I can't eat fast, because ow. So she got me half of the normal stack. Usually she gets me like 8 or 10. This time she got me 4. So, I mean, I guess. But I only got through 1 because I had to be very careful with chewing.
Yeah.
So.
It reminds me when I got my tonsils taken out. I know it's not the same thing because I wasn't in any sort of pain whatsoever. But I don't know. So I got my tonsils and adenoids taken out when I was in 2nd grade. Because, you know, they were so enlarged that they were, like, touching my uvula. Mm-hmm. And I, like, it... was bad because I may have told you this like a while ago. Like I would snore in my sleep because of them, so it was like it could complicate my breathing and I could suffocate.
Yeah.
And it was also affecting my eating. Like I wouldn't eat anything. So blame my tonsils for my eating disorder, I guess.
Okay. All right.
But when I got done, they gave me a popsicle when I woke up, and I ate that popsicle real fast because I love popsicles. Yeah. It was a bomb pop.
Oh,
so it was
okay,
delicious.
No fair.
Hospital bomb pops, or at least the hospital I went to. I mean, we have pretty good healthcare here, I think.
I don't know. I'm 18. I should know this.
I think we do. It depends on where you go, because like we went to the hospital that my mom used to work at, and she really likes that one. So I think that was good at least. I mean, we have Mayo Clinic.
Yeah, Mayo Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It depends on your access to a healthcare provider and health insurance.
And jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I downed the bomb pop, and they're like, "You want another one?" I went, "Absolutely, I do."
You think I want? You think I don't?
Except I was in second grade, so it was like, yes.
It was just, yes, please.
I had crippling social anxiety as a child, and I still kind of do, but like, I am in theater now, and like, yeah. I was in a musical. Nothing can stop me now. But I had like 7 or 10 bomb pops.
Honestly, fair.
And at one point they like, because I couldn't quite walk because of the anesthesia, and I was also 7.
Yeah.
So they took me on a wheelchair, and they brought me to the fridge for the popsicles.
I love that.
So I was like, they also let me wear. I got to wear my pajamas, and they were the matching pajamas I had with my American Girl doll. So I brought my American Girl doll. Oh, that's fun. And I brought my hanky, my blanket, whose name is Hanky. You knew that probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I always keep forgetting when I have sleepovers with Greta, which is constantly now.
Yeah.
Because she just will call me and be like, "So I'm done with work. Can I come pick you up?" And I'm like, "Well, I have done 0 chores today, so the probability of my dad saying yes,
slim,
you know."
But sure.
And then I'll be like, "Hey, Dad, is it okay if I like?" Or usually if it's a sleepover, she'll plan ahead a couple more days. But if it's like hanging out and going to Target, because she can't go to Target by herself apparently.
Nobody can. Why would you go to Target by yourself?
No. And she thinks it's because I'll keep her in check with her money spending. But
no.
The last time she asked me to go to Target, I was like, "Greta, I'm so tired right now. Like, I just got done with school." And she was like, "I'll buy you something to eat." And I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't like, "I'll get you like a special thing." It was, I know you'll want a snack. You want a little sweet treat? And I was like, "You know I do." And I went.
Yeah.
And I got a big bag of trolley gummy worms, which I should have gotten the Dots pretzels. Because as I was eating the gummy worms, I was like, I'm getting a stomachache now. Because I'll eat them so fast. Dots pretzels. I was like, I could have gotten that giant bag. And I got trolley gummy worms.
Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't. I got the Burst trolley gummy worms.
Those are good, though.
So they're pretty good, but I got a big stomachache afterwards. And I couldn't drink water because the weird sugar made it taste weird,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I fully feel that.
But where was I going with this? Oh, I keep forgetting to bring Hanky to the sleepovers we have because they're so spontaneous.
Yeah.
And I'll get there and I'm like, I forgot my blankie. And she has a backup blanket there that's like a small baby blanket, and she'll chuck it at me. So there's that. That's also the day I bought my backup prom dress that I think is going to be next year's prom dress because it's so good.
Yeah. I'm super happy about my prom dress.
And yours is also custom.
So I know nobody else is going to have it.
That's my thing. Last year I knew no one else was going to have my dress.
Because you got it off Facebook Marketplace.
For like $45, by the way, which is a steal, especially because it fit me so nicely. And it was so cute.
Yeah.
And it was a lace-up. Easy peasy.
Oh, yeah.
But this year's it was on Amazon. So high likelihood that someone else will have it. But
like, it's not your senior year.
You know, and it's not my senior year. This is my second prom, you know, like next year no one else will have my dress. That's what I know because I thrifted my dress.
Oh, yeah.
It has like, I think a little grass stain or something on the lower part of the skirt, but Greta didn't even notice it. Well, it's Greta. Like Grayson didn't notice it at first, neither did my mom.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like, it's not a big deal. I don't care. And my mom's really big on grass stains, but she's always like, well, it has this little stain. I don't care.
Yeah.
Look at how it snatches me. It's actually such a cute dress. The ruffles, it has like ruffles all around.
I think you showed me.
Yeah. And it's off the shoulder, and the ruffles are so like, they're just structured so beautifully because the fabric just stays there. Like it doesn't have any boning or in it. It's just the way it's sewn, and I think it has like horsehair stitched at the end, so it has that structure. It makes me feel like a princess because it's got that like Aurora. Actually, I think it's called Guinevere bodice.
Yeah.
So it like goes down a bit, which also cinches you, and it fits so perfectly.
That's the best feeling is when you thrift something and you try it on. You're like, okay,
I was trying it on because I love looking at the dresses, and we all had, and Lily was there with us too, my little sister, and we were Sorry, I'm just making sure that my dad's not yelling at me. I have to do that every now and then.
No, fair.
My little sister was there, and I was with Greta, so we were all trying things on. But because Greta was gonna buy each of us one thing at the thrift store. Actually, she wasn't gonna buy me anything because I agreed. We went to the Scooters, that's just outside.
Oh yeah.
You know, and she got me a drink, so I had to get anything I wanted. It like if I wanted something at the thrift store, I had to buy myself. Which is so fun because I had $20 in my account. Because I don't have a source of income.
No,
but
fair.
And I did buy that $11 dress, but it was $11.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Come on. And I tried it on because I was like, this is a dress that it looked like an 80s kind of dress with how it was hanging up.
It's really pretty.
And it didn't look like it was an off-the-shoulder dress when I took it off the rack, so I was like, I'm just going to try this on for funsies. And then I put it on, I was like,
this is mine now.
I was like, oh, okay. And then I walked out, and Lily was there, and she was like, oh, Greta, come out. And Greta was like, so you're getting that.
I love that.
I think Lily got shoes. She got like the clunky
Mary Janes.
Yeah, but well, they were like platform. I don't know if they were Mary Janes, more like they may have been Mary Janes.
Okay.
I don't know. But she thrifted them, so they were like $5-10.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's bigger feet than me.
She's also taller than you.
Yeah. Well, she's 4 years younger than me.
Yeah, well.
What's crazy is that she takes after me a lot because I'm her older sister. So it's like she looks up to me, and I didn't really realize that until recently because I used to just think that she was like, I don't know. I hated seeing myself in her.
Yeah.
And like we have a much better relationship now, but I still get mad at her for some things because she can be a hypocrite. Because
she's still a middle schooler.
Yeah, but she'll pull the I'm losing at Uno. I'm only 12. She said that.
Yeah.
She said that. It was like we were playing Uno at my uncle's house because we had a sleepover for Easter.
Yeah.
And we were playing Uno, and she was like, I can't wait for this to get intense. And then we started playing.
And then it started getting intense.
She's like, you guys are bullying me. I'm only 12. And we were like, so you're playing the victim, huh? And she was like, I'm only 12. And it was so funny. And we were like, Lily, you're the one who wanted it to be intense. And she was like, I'm only 12. So, you know, but I mean, looking back on it now, it's funny, but she's still like riding on that. She's like, you're only doing it because I'm the youngest. And I mean, some of that's true, but also like, I would have pulled that, you know, +4 on anyone at that table.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. So. As the youngest, I will say, though, that victim complex goes hard.
Yeah.
Like, that victim complex is crazy.
As the middle child, I have to... It's not... Here's the thing. I am my dad's favorite, and that's not hard to tell. But as the middle child, I have to keep maintaining that, and I have to be the best at everything. I'm so competitive. I feel like Eddie's sibling's going to be competitive. Like, except Jack. He just, like...
Jack could care less.
He could care less. Except he wins, and then he's like, aha!
That's why he's not competitive.
And he's all like happy and smiling, and I'm like, I'm gonna wipe that smile off your face, bitch.
I will wipe the smile off your face one way or another.
And like, you were really competitive.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we used to like competitively play against each other.
Oh God.
With
anything,
but also. Our first interaction, like,
was Uno. Because it was me, Rayleigh, and Kira, and we were gonna go play Uno in one of the teachers' rooms, and you were just sitting there, and you're like, we should probably invite her. And so we did, and we played Uno, and I cried. I cried. Because I was being so mean.
You were. But I also cried at a lot of things. But also, now it's just kind of like, I can force tears really well.
No,
like,
fair.
Rehearsal for the fall musical, I think Emma, I don't know what Emma did, she took my pencil or something, or she took my spot, and I was like, I looked at her and she looked at me and the tears started coming down and she was like, here, take it back. Yeah. And then I don't know, maybe it was spots, but we were standing up, so I don't know. That was probably my favorite rehearsal because the bleachers were still there. And so I think we still have the bleachers anyway, do we? Or did we sell them finally?
Oh, no, they're still there.
Yeah. But the bleachers were out. Mm-hmm. And some people were sitting on them, but me and Emma stood up behind them.
Yeah.
And we had our music there. And it was such a great rehearsal for whatever reason because I was standing up. I don't know. It was really nice.
Some rehearsals just have that vibe.
And it was just a music rehearsal, you know.
Yeah.
I also, favorite and least favorite rehearsal is when I first rehearsed the Scream. And I hadn't quite gotten the Scream down yet, but he was like, I need you to be, walk around, be all whatever, hysterical. And I was like, okay. And so I had memorized the 3 lines I had.
Yeah.
I dropped my script and I went down on my knees and it was so fun. And then I went backstage for what the rest of the scene was being blocked. And I laid down because I felt so, I didn't feel bad about my performance, but physically I felt horrible. And then the next day was, homecoming and Greta was also feeling bad, so I was like, I don't know, I took my temperature, I had a fever, and then I took a COVID test and immediately positive.
Nice.
But nobody else who was at rehearsal that day got COVID immediately afterward or in the period of time that it would have taken.
In the contagion time.
And I was like, well, I'm sick. But then I got to miss some school, and then they were like, you have 5 absences. Yeah, I had COVID. What do you want me to do? I hate the attendance policy here.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I'm going to get an email soon about the attendance policy, and I'm just going to forward it to my mom and be like, hey, just
they send it
pop
to your
off,
mom.
queen.
They send it. So, they sent it to parents and students, or at least they sent it to my dad. And my dad, I think, forwarded it to me, thinking I didn't get it. I don't know. And he was like, hey, what's this about? And I said, these are all excused absences from being sick or a field trip that was excused by the school. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm passing all my classes. This is really not a big issue. And he was like, all right.
Yeah, I know that once that email goes home, I'm going to walk in the door and my dad's going to start screaming. And I'm going to be like, hey, it's him. Do you bleep names that are
We can do the redacted thing.
Okay. Redacted. I don't know if you needed that, but it was fun. But I know that I'm going to walk in the door and my dad's going to start.
Is that who you were wanting to say?
Redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm going to walk in the door and he's going to start just bloody murder. And he's like, you're a senior in high school. Oh my God, you're grounded. You're not going to. Blah, blah, blah. He's just going to go on his normal rant about whenever I get a D. And then I'm just going to look at him and go, it's me. And then he's going to look at me and go, I hate that guy.
I hate
just
that guy.
Eyes will narrow slightly.
Here's the thing too, though.
And his eyebrows will slightly tense. And he'll just go, I hate that guy.
I can imagine it in my head.
Oh, yeah. My father despised... My dad, usually, he's like, the school is in the right. The school is in the right. You shouldn't have done that. But when I dyed my hair and I almost got expelled for it, he was about to email the school. He, dyslexic sir, was about to email the school. And I was like, that's bold. He hates writing. He hates writing. He hates typing.
Yeah.
He does not like doing anything that has to do with anything administrative. Yeah. And he was about to email the school. And I was like, all right, this is intense.
I don't know, man. Getting intense here.
Yeah.
I don't know. My dad's so-so. I think he has a lot of pride in the school because I'm a legacy student.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a legacy student too, for kind of. You're second gen. No, you're first gen.
I'm first gen, but just a bunch
After
of my cousins
siblings,
have gone.
Yeah. I'm third generation at this school.
Yeah.
So my dad has a lot of pride in it. I think he values the education that I'm getting, but
not the administration part of it.
The way he makes fun of Mr.
Redacted.
Is so funny because he went to school with Mr. Redacted. Brother. So I mean, he was an underclassman. My dad was an upperclassman.
Yeah.
So one time he walked up to him during I don't know whatever thing.
I think you remember you telling me this story.
He was like, "Sup, Andy? Don't call me Andy. All right, Andy." That was it.
It's like you will forever in my mind be an underclassman. Does not matter what authority you have in this school. I was older than you in high school. I think he was still the dean
when it happened. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I would tell him about times I told him about when they were yelling slurs at us during the spring musical during passing times, and how he did nothing about it. So I think my dad is still kind of I
will call him Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, here's the thing too with
REDACTED.
Wars new, right?
Yeah.
And I had hope because the way he talked, it was
like,
like,
oh my god, my heart was filled.
It was like, he sounds like he'd actually do something. Jake, I'm gonna bleep it.
REDACTED.
Gets in a fight, fucking nothing. He was on his last warning. Doesn't get expelled.
Nope.
No, nothing.
Nope.
You dye your hair.
I was about to get expelled, and I emailed them. So when I first dyed my hair orange, Mrs. REDACTED pulled me into her office, and she was like, "Unacceptable. You need to change it." But it was Mrs. REDACTED, so she was saying it nicely. It was Minnesota passive aggressive, and I was like, "Okay, fuck you." It was supposed to be a much darker shade. It didn't come out that way, but I was in a professional salon. And also I have crippling social anxiety.
Yeah.
So I wasn't about to say to her face, hey, I don't like it, fix it. And so Mr. REDACTED called me into his office after that. So I was like, hey, not supposed to be the right color. And I explained the entire situation to him. And he was like, okay, cool, fix it. And I was like, okay, I'll try.
But then I will, like, when you showed up with that color, I was like, that's a bold choice.
Yeah. And then it started fading a little bit, and he gave me until November 1st. He was like, if this does not get resolved by November 1st, you're gone.
Oh.
And he said, we'll figure something out, but no, he didn't. So before then, I had to dye So I tried to dye my hair like the red that it was supposed to be. Did not happen. Didn't go right. And then I got, no. Mr. REDACTED wasn't involved for the orange hair, but he got involved for the pink hair. Because the pink hair happened, and I emailed Mrs. REDACTED before she could talk to me, and I was like, hey, stuff happened again. This wasn't the right color. Explain the whole situation. She forwarded that to Mr. REDACTED. Called me into her office. I'm making this awful free for editing, but I apologize. But he called me into his office, and he was saying, like, now you have until November 1st to fix it. And if you don't, well, let's just say parents have been calling in and have been voting for you to get expelled.
What?
Yeah.
Who the hell goes home and says, this faggot with pink hair?
Right?
Like,
right?
And what kind of teacher will go, or parent will call the school and be like, we want them removed because of their pink hair. Because they're a faggot. And then the school goes, you're so right for that.
No. Like, actually, you're cooked. Like,
Actually, let's expel them before they can kill themselves.
Right? Yeah, no, that was crazy. And the amount of, like, glares within my grade, everybody in my grade knew that my hair was an accident. My hair was not supposed to be that color. Because I walked in the first day, and love Margot. Do you know her? She's the head of student council, one of the three.
I know all three faces. I'll figure it out.
Fair. But she's in my homeroom, and she's like, hey, I love your hair, by the way. Just, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but, like, is the school okay with that? And I was like, nope. But it wasn't supposed to be this color. And so everybody else in homeroom was, like, joining in on the conversation. I was like, it was supposed to be a dark red. It was supposed to be a dark red, like,
I had dark red hair at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I purposely, like, 2 days, like, Greta was at my house, like, days before school started. It's, like, 2 days, August 26th.
Yeah.
She dyed my hair like a dark red, and I miss that color kind of, but I don't want to dye my hair again because I can't, but you know.
Yeah. But then, so everybody in my grade knew about it, but the other grades didn't know about it. So the amount of people who would walk behind me, I was walking to art class, and there were these 2 girls behind me who went, oh my god, if REDACTED doesn't expel her, I will, because that pisses me off. And I'm like,
who is that? Here's the thing. An underclassman caring about, when we went, we were like, dyed hair. All right, man.
Yeah.
Whatever. That seems a little, I want everybody to look the same. Okay, Hitler. Like,
right?
Come on, you know? And it was like, and everyone wore sweatpants. Everyone in my grade is like, here's how I con my way into wearing sweatpants and getting away with it.
Oh, 100%.
I didn't because my pants were too light. But
yeah, no fair.
You know, and my dad was like, Dad, you know what? Not a big deal, okay?
Really not.
The pants.
In hindsight,
and
not a big deal.
And then I embroidered flowers on the back pocket, and I told my dad, and he said, and I was like, it can't be against the dress code. And he said, yes, it can. And I was like, an inch of flowers on my pocket that was that had a hole in it? You want to see my ass? Is that what you want? Like,
yeah, they would rather see your butt.
And he was like, stop like pushing your rules. And I said, I just wanted to express myself in a way that was dress code friendly. He said, you can express yourself when you're not going to a Catholic school.
Yeah. No, that's like, exactly what it is. But then like they kept following me and they just kept like talking shit. And I was like, are you serious? And they weren't hiding it because it was me and the two of them behind me in a dead hallway. And they were talking at a normal level. I was like, are you serious?
Too, they're not that much younger than us, but it's also like...
No, whenever they were sophomores.
Whenever there's a new class, it's always like... Like, you feel old, and then they start talking, and maybe they'll talk shit, and you're like, child.
You're literally a child. And so I just kept thinking... Like I was so tempted to just, like... I was just walking, and I had my stuff, and I was just so tempted to just do this.
Mm-hmm. Or just kind of turn around, like... But at the same time, they knew you could hear them.
Yeah, and also I couldn't egg them on because then I would be in the wrong. Because if I flipped them off and then they brought it to administration, I would be in the wrong. Because I would be the aggressor, even though they were talking about me in a very obvious manner and talking poorly about me.
And the thing is, too, they were sophomores, and if they were freshmen, it could be... Here's the thing. Nothing counts in your freshman year.
Yeah, because you're a freshman.
It would still hurt, but it's also like they're freshmen next year. They're going to look back on it and be like, you know, yeah. But sophomores
should know better. Yeah, but I was just like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? And then I finally walked into school. We finally fixed it. My dad, so my mom was like, okay, we'll get you back in the salon. We'll like dye it like a nice dark brown. We'll figure things out. And my dad went, no. We're dyeing it October 30th or October 31st. We're dyeing it the last day possible because I hate this school. And usually my dad is like, oh, there's a problem, get rid of it immediately. And that was the first time I was like, oh, he's actually on my side? Oh, this is crazy. Yeah, and ever since then, have I told you about my mother's email?
No.
My mother, since that first event with the orange hair, my mother has begun drafting an email that details all of the stuff that all 4 of her kids have been through. All 4 of her kids and the stuff that my cousins have been through as well that never got dealt with at TG. And it's just all of this stuff. And it's mostly me because I don't know why, but I went through the most stuff.
You were bullied.
Yeah. But I just went through so much. And she was just like, she has receipts. Like emails and stuff on this email, and she keeps adding to it, and she goes, the second you walk across that stage, I press send, and if they don't
you get your diploma, we're out of here.
Oh no. And she went, and if they don't do something about it, if they don't email me back with at least a sincerest regards, I'm sending it to the press.
Oh, they'll eat that up.
Oh my god,
they would eat that up,
right? Nobody likes
why I left
BuzzFeed.
I saw a thing that was like average BuzzFeed video, and the thumbnail was like lesbians kiss men for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I used to watch Ladylike all the time though.
Oh, all the time.
That was the good side of BuzzFeed.
Yeah. Like I honestly just want to talk. I want to look at you and say, no, you keep this episode until you graduate. Let's talk shit about TG. Because there's so. Can I talk about the yearbook thing? Your phone. I don't know if it's relevant. Okay.
It's Discord and Miss Redacted. A Nintendo Switch was found on the lawn.
What the fuck? If that ain't some shit, I don't know what is.
You know what's crazy too about TV? These, because I am I am white, I am privileged.
Yeah.
But my family's always struggled with money.
Yeah.
I knew people here were rich. But I got here, and the culture shock I got, I was like, what the fuck? Clint went to a debutante ball, like a couple weeks ago. A debutante ball.
Yeah.
I didn't even think those were a thing anymore.
No.
At least not in this state.
And then, oh my god. I can't even begin to tell you how much, I've met somebody who genuinely didn't think poor people existed. We were in class and we were doing the teacher said a statement and this corner was agreed, this corner was strongly agree, strongly disagree, you know what I mean? And so it was like, or the statement said by the teacher was like, poor people should be more recognized by the U.S. government. And everybody was like, strongly agree.
Yeah, that
and
makes
this dude
sense.
went to disagree. And he was the only one there. Somebody was asking him, and he went, well, they, like, proportionately, they don't really matter in America. They don't really, like, make a difference. And so, if they're not making a difference to the rest of the population, why should they be such a statement in the population? And we were like, because they can't. What?
They can't make a statement. They can't make a difference because they don't have the
poor.
means. Like, the way I'd be sitting there, like, I'd turn around, like, to literally any person. It'd be funny if it was, like, a football guy, but it'd be like, you hearing this shit?
Yeah.
You guys hearing this?
And then another time, somebody went, another time, same class, different person. We were doing the same activity, and the statement was, some doctors in the United States take jobs for the paycheck rather than the people that they would affect, people that they would help.
Agree.
And Mr. Daddy's Money would strongly disagree. And he stood in that corner alone, and he said, well, my dad doesn't do that, but my dad's a private practice, and he doesn't do that. And literally one of the people who was in the strongly agree corner went, if he's private practice, he's doing it for that very reason.
Oh.
And we all just kind of went like, oh.
I love when moments like that happen in class. I think I kind of did that. If I had more time to think about what I was saying, I would have been able to do that in my service and justice class, in Miss REDACTED class last semester. Because there was a small amount of us in that class. It was not as small as advocacy and justice, but it was small.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a chaotic class, and we had work time or something, and she was talking about the prison mass that we were going to like watch on stream, and they were confused about it, they being two boys in my grade who, I think, sports boys, athletic, you know, you
jocks.
get it. The jocks, yeah, perfect descriptor. And one of them, their last name's Strong.
Oh.
So I think that's fitting. I think it's really
fair.
fitting, but I just, whatever. And they were like, wait, so are we going to be like
going
with serial killers or whatever? And they were like, no. And they thought, I don't know. And it was women's.
Yeah.
It was a women's prison mass. And they were confused about that. They were like, why do they separate men and women? That's kind of sexist. And I went, what do you think will happen when they put violent female and male criminals together? What do you think's going to happen? Mm-hmm. And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, well, don't you think that those violent criminals, specifically the men, would probably hurt the women?
Would probably prey on the violent, volatile
I said,
women.
Because if they're committing violent crimes, it's most likely against a woman. And my words were different because it was on the spot. It was on the spot. And they were like, hey, yo. And I was like, yeah. And a female criminal would probably hurt a predatory man as well. And then I didn't want to say, well, they're going to rape them. But that's what I meant.
But that's 1 in 3, babe.
And then Annika, I don't know, it was Lucy Burkow. Mm-hmm. And then Lucy Burkow was like, well, the men in prison just do it with each other. And Annika went, why do you think that is?
Because they don't have
women. They don't have women. And I wish I had more time to be like, now let's
like,
think about this for a second.
Open up a book and be like, so, here's
they were sitting behind me and I went, so
let's start a conversation.
I was just like, because afterwards I was like, I could have said this and this and this. But like,
but I guarantee you Miss REDACTED you, and she was like, that's my student.
One time, here's the thing. We had our final for that class. I'm so proud of what my final was for that class. But there was a vote, and she said that Miss REDACTED, Mr. REDACTED, were going to be there. Mm-hmm. They weren't. They weren't there in their presentation. And I didn't get, like, any votes on mine, which I thought was bullshit because my analysis took up, like, 2/3 of my entire board.
Yeah.
I used, like, red string. I don't know if you saw it.
I think I did.
But, like, it had red string on it. It was talking, and it was the complexities of hunger. And I had this web, and then that was explaining like how it connects to literally everything.
Yeah.
It connects to international affairs. It connects to crime. It connects to the prison system. It connects to the education system, healthcare, whatever. And I'm very passionate about hunger. And then below that, I had like pictures of different social structures and like red string connecting them and explaining what they do. And I had like printed photos from my photo albums at home. Like I had my introduction to it was like, this is my relationship with food, you know, my dad, whatever. And I had a picture of my dad cooking or a picture of one of his dishes and a quote from him that was like, the happiest I am is when someone says they can enjoy something I eat, whatever, you know, something like that. And then I had another picture of him at like a charity event for the March of Dimes when he was cooking for it. And then, but the web had like pictures of my grandpa when he was accepting an award.
Yeah.
And he was in his military uniform. And I was like, government, this is its structure, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I cut out pieces of a magazine and I did all of that. And I had like American Girl doll construction paper, which let me tell you, best fucking construction paper you're ever gonna get.
Honestly, fair.
Because it's not just American Girl plastered on it. There is one of that kind, but it's got different patterns and it's thick. Hold on, I need you to see American Girl construction paper. Doll construction controversy.
Well.
Oh, nope, that's not worker. I meant paper. I'm typing with one hand.
No, fair.
I want images. Is it not going to show up? Because it's like, here are some of them. Like, they've got patterns and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, my mom, we have memory boxes, and my mom
like
decorated
paper.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And I decorated it with that. Like, I layered it.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going to put dark orange, lighter orange, the yellow, like, faded paper that I had for this. And I typed one thing, and it was my introduction. Everything else was handwritten.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I typed my, like, call to action as well, but that's because I realized I had done it wrong.
Fair.
Because my call to action was less call to action-y. It was more describing the systems involved. I don't know. Whatever. But I still got 100% on it.
Yeah.
But I wish she brought it up sometimes, because sometimes she'll bring up issues in morality class, and I'm like, you know what would be great for this, Miss
Redacted.
My final. And I know she's got it, like, yeah, that is Miss
Redacted.
I know she's got it, like,
did not notice.
Right up there in the corner, too, you know? So, yeah. I thought we were already at 1 hour, and I was like, what? But it's just the, like, permanent 1 hour
Yeah, the permanent one.
Yeah. I don't know why it does that.
I don't know either.
I went on a long tangent about my final. I loved Service and Justice, even though it stressed me the hell out in the first bit of it. But I got my 20 hours of service, so it was whatever.
Yeah.
Where was I? Where did I start with this? Oh, I was talking about Mr.
Redacted.
Out of me. Where I don't know what other situation I've had where she. Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
This has nothing to do with social justice at all.
Okay.
I don't know why I went into this.
Go for it.
We were learning about certain things, and we had like groups. We had to partner up with somebody and then learn about a specific article. Like we all read different ones, and we had to teach it to the class with an activity. Me and Gabby
Redacted.
worked on something together, which was great because we worked on it like equally.
Yes.
And we came up with this like story-esque game. We made like fake money. We brought in fake Monopoly money, and we handed it out, and it was like social sin, the structures of sin in social life. And we sorry, I'm scared he's gonna be like, what the fuck?
No, same.
So it was like how sin committed by one structure leads to sin from everyone else. So like a bad boss can lead to employees stealing from the company.
Oh yeah.
You know, which I think is justified, but it's still technically a sin.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Bish bosh. To be or not
Tomato,
to be.
tomato, really. So it was like, this amount of people are workers. This amount of people are the manufacturers. Mr.
Redacted.
The head of the company, whatever. So it was like, I think it was car or something. It was Elon Musk making cars. And it was like, all right, Musk goes to a third world country to mine lithium, you know, and uses the cheap labor there. These workers are laid off. Give your money to Mr.
Redacted.
And then that was the activity. But before we started, everyone was being loud. We were trying to start, and she was like, "Come on, guys!" And I yelled. I went like, "Hey!" Right? Like, project. I didn't yell,
you theater voiced.
but I theater voiced, and everyone was like,
and I went, the lesbian
and I went, sorry. Anywho, and I started going into it, and then at the end of class, I was like, "Sorry, we're done for yelling," and she went, "No, that was exactly what you should have done."
I love it.
Thank you so much.
I love it.
So. Yeah, that's a proud Miss Redacted. I love her. No, not her husband.
Oh, yeah. Like, how did... Girl, she stooped. She stooped.
I can see how outside of his career, sure. Maybe. You know, but like...
Maybe. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, but I had so much hope.
I
had so much hope.
I had so much hope.
You know what made me realize, too, even if I didn't want to admit it at the time? He didn't do anything about Redacted.
Yeah.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Ollie talked to him about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
like, you can talk to that man face on, and he'll look at you, and he'll say, "No, I'll do something." And
does
then
nothing.
Nothing happens.
Nothing.
And it's like...
It's also because I feel like... Sorry.
No, you're good.
Redacted. Sorry. We're saying so many names right now.
Yeah, honestly, you might not even be... We might have to re-record a different day.
That's fine. Or we could just talk about something else for the next hour, but, you know.
We'll see.
I mean, I had to cut 20 minutes off of our last one.
Yeah.
But that was, like... It wasn't names. It was, like...
A story
it was a story I could not let the public know of. But...
She killed somebody, guys.
Anywho.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
That's when the podcast ends. It's just me going, oh.
Well, next episode, I'm sorry to say that Hudson has passed.
It's being looked into, but the circumstances are currently unknown.
Justice for Hud, really. I've been watching Sherlock Holmes. I might be able to pull that off. No, I couldn't. I wouldn't.
Just get some hyaluronic acid.
Yeah. Wear a wig.
Like, genuinely, I feel like me and you could get away with a murder.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think about this a lot with different friend groups when I'm, like, going through different phases.
The D1 haters GC. We could commit genocide and nobody would know.
Think about this. Apocalypse at you.
Oh.
I think about this all the time with like a couple years ago. No, maybe it was middle school. I was talking to a group of friends that I was really close with at the time, and I went, I think we could survive an apocalypse. I'm gonna write about it. So I started writing a story, and I never finished it, but it was us, but I treated them like characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got like the first chapter. So like I had my van, right, and I was driving. It was our senior year, and like we got let out of TG early because they can do that. Yeah. And I drive to their school, and I'm calling them, and they have horrible attendance there. So I honestly could have walked in and done anything. But like they got in my van. And then I made a thing like Grayson wasn't as close with the friend group at that time. So I went, "Where's Grayson?" And they said, "Oh, he was homesick today."
Mm.
He's infected.
Yeah.
And then, but it was called When We Were Wallflowers.
Oh my, no, girl. I'm sorry. No, you lost me.
Yeah.
The word wallflower is so triggering.
Look, it was 8th grade, and I was generating titles on Reedsy.
Fair. But now that I think about it, I also wrote an Apocalypse AU with my graduating class. I didn't even get past the first chapter. But I was just, mine was, because there was only like 10 people in my graduating class.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think was it 8th? No, I think it was 6th grade. No, it was 8th grade because I tried to email it to one of my friends and then the email didn't work. But I couldn't send it through school. So it was 8th grade. But it was an Apocalypse AU about we were in class one day and our teacher leaves to go print something out and she never comes back.
Oh, okay.
And then when we go to investigate, the rest of the population has disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea how to write it though.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I was like, we left. No. That was one of my ideas. The one that I actually went with was worse. was so bad. We woke up one day and everybody was gone. Yeah. And so what I thought was, hey, everybody, even though we live in extremely different parts of Minnesota and like all around the metro, let's all meet at the park across the street from our school. And then everybody was like, well, how are we going to get there? And I was like, walk? I don't know.
Walk? I don't know, man.
Because I didn't place this in the future. This was us at the moment. So we were all a bunch of 8th graders surviving the apocalypse together. And so I think I made it like 20 minutes is how long it took everybody to get there. No, it would take a couple hours. It would take
walk.
me.
Yeah.
It would take me a couple hours to get there, let alone the people who lived farther than me. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, so it looks like we're the only people on Earth. Didn't do any investigating. But it looks like we're the only people on Earth. What do we do now? And everybody was like, well, food's going to start going bad. So, like, what are we going to do about that? I was like, well, we could go to the Mall of America and live there. And everybody was like,
but the electricity.
But everybody went, that's such a good idea. Oh my God, let's go. And so we walked to the Mall of America. And looking back, all of us would have gotten lost. None of us would have known what we were doing. We would have been walking towards Mall of America, and then we would have seen the "Welcome to Wisconsin" sign. Like, but we got there, and what we did first was we played with the Legos. That's all we did.
The rides wouldn't be operable either.
Yeah, but I remember sitting there, and I was like, I'm tempted to write a roller coaster scene. Because we would be in...
Yes, this would work.
Yeah, no, this is
some
Mark Twain
type shit. Do you see the new Avatar: The Last Airbender ride that they're putting in?
No? Okay,
it's an
I might actually
ride.
have to pay the
it's Appa.
outrageous fee.
The outrageous fee. And, support Nickelodeon.
Oh, no! I forgot that that's Nickelodeon World.
Yes, it's Nickelodeon.
You can see on the little bar where I just went, oh, no!
Oh, no.
That's so good.
You went... Avatar: The Last Airbender is detached because it was animated.
Owned by Netflix now. They're not any better, probably.
No. I mean,
at least they don't touch their kids.
Yeah. At least Dan Schneider's not working there, hey?
Yeah. Dan Schneider probably tried to shove his way into ATLA. And everybody was like, if you touch...
Was it that time? Because ATLA was like 2006.
Well, I mean, like the Netflix one. Because they had to get the rights from Nickelodeon.
Maybe.
So Dan Schneider was probably like...
He may have been severed by that point.
No, because he was in Henry Danger. He worked on Henry Danger and Danger Force. Those were his shows.
Oh, that's why I can't watch Henry Danger anymore. I'm always like, this is gross.
Yeah, Dan Schneider was one of the producers of that.
Oh, yeah. Grody.
So, yeah. I don't like that. I want to ride the Appa ride, but I don't want to support his ass.
Yeah.
Or anybody
he's
at
not
Nickelodeon.
working there anymore.
Yeah, but the people at Nickelodeon were okay with this.
Yeah. But Appa.
You know what? I'm going to start a GoFundMe to buy ATLA so that we can make an Appa ride.
Good luck with that.
I think, genuinely, if I made a GoFundMe and it went viral on TikTok, I would meet the goal.
Yeah. If it went viral on TikTok.
Yeah, and if I emailed the creators of ATLA and was like, hey, you are owned by Nickelodeon. Think about it. I can pay you this much.
Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the creators of ATLA left the Netflix project. I forgot about that.
So live action, yeah. I mean, the show, I don't know.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
It's on my to-do list.
I've seen the first episode. I had my issues, but I wasn't, like, super mad. I just had, like, things that I was like, if they didn't do this, it would be a lot better as an audience.
Yeah.
Because my main qualm without spoiling anything from the first episode is that they just kept explaining everything.
Fair. A lot of exposition.
A big part of the first, like, half of the first book was that we were finding stuff out with the characters.
Yeah, because Aang didn't know anything. Neither did Sokka or Katara, because they were so sheltered.
Can I spoil a little bit that's not major?
Go for it.
Fucking Gran Garan. She is like, that's an airbender. He must be the Avatar. A big part of that episode is that he lies and says that he's not. And then the water tribe gets attacked, and then he has to say they want me. Awful. Yeah. Like, that's a huge part of it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't know. It just made me so upset. Why is it not doing this anymore? Sorry. It's not, like, following it. Whatever.
Try and click the red thing. Not, like, click the red line.
Oh. Ooh, wait. Now it's going too fast. I don't know, man. Anywho.
That's gonna annoy me now.
We'll just, here you go.
Okay.
You can't see it anymore. That was just my big thing.
No, fair.
I thought that Zuko's actor is really slay, though.
Oh my god, Sokka is so Sokka.
Sokka is so Sokka, I think. And the thing is, too, they were roommates during the production of it.
I'm pretty sure they got cast, and then they moved in with each other. And so now they're in love. And in every interview, they're both like, that's my boyfriend.
Here's the thing. I'm such a hardcore Zuko shipper that, like...
No, fair.
But the thing, too, is, like... What's great about being a Zuko shipper is that you don't care about anything else.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a Zutara or a Zatang... Or not Zatang.
Oh!
Katang. Katang or Zatara, you're gonna hate anything else that involves those characters and not that one person. But if you're Zuka, you'll be best friends with the Top and Sokka shipper. You're like, hey.
It'll never be canon, but let's live together. But that's like, yeah. No, 100%.
I once, and I think maybe it was middle school or my freshman year. I don't know. I think it was middle school because I was home because of COVID. Like, I didn't have it, but, you know. And quarantine. I read a fanfiction on Wattpad, a Zuka fanfiction. I didn't read that it was slow burn with a bad ending.
No.
And I was going through and I was like, okay, they're going through a rough spot, but they're gonna fix it, right? It ends and they like aren't talking to each other anymore. And I was like,
I cannot mentally fathom a bad ending.
I can't read bad endings. It was a mistake. No, it was a mistake.
I can't. Because then because here's the thing. When I dedicate myself to a fanfic, it's like, once I finish that fanfiction, I genuinely have to stop for 10 minutes and think about what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. And that's with any good book. But I just read fanfictions more than actual fiction. So,
yeah.
But, like, when it's a bad ending, I sit there and I'm like,
what did I just do with my life? How am I supposed to recover?
Are they okay?
Yeah. Because even though it's fiction, you're like,
these people are real and they are my family. I was with them like, no, they have to be okay. They have to be okay. And then I caught myself on one point. I read this super sad I don't even remember. I think it was Marvel. It was a really sad Marvel fic. And it was just like a found family thing. So it was just about all of them like talking to each other. But it was after Civil War and they never got back together. And the book ended with...
Was it Stucky?
No, it was just found family.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like a somebody X somebody. Mm-hmm. It was just people like those enjoying. Yeah.
That's what I did with DSMP. I never read ship fics. I always read the like
found family,
fantastical world building.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, and the book ended with like somebody. I don't remember which character it was, but it was somebody like getting their mail for the day, and they were walking back to their house, and they were like flipping through everything, and then they get to a card. It says, "My sincerest apologies." And they open it when they're walking up and they collapse. And it turns out that it was somebody's funeral invitation. Somebody had died and they hadn't reconnected. And then they went through like the reaction of each Avenger's reaction to getting that funeral invitation. And that's where the book ends. Like, we don't get to see them go to the funeral and possibly that's where the book ends. And I remember I sat there and I was already crying because, like, the way they wrote the fact that he had died, I was already crying. But then I finished the book. And they hit me with the end, too. It wasn't like you scrolled and then, like, Wattpad hit you with the, how you enjoyed this story, here are more like it. It just went, it was that, and then it was a bunch of, like, they tabbed a bunch, so you had to scroll, and then it was the end. And so I stopped, and I was like, you good? All right, cool.
How do you get in there?
I think it's locked.
If you climb through the window and somebody sees you, you're gonna get in mad trouble.
Don't break anything. Do you need the microwave? Why do you need to get in there? you want to sit?
All right, fair. What were you talking about? Oh, the sad funeral fic.
I didn't want to say the fanfic, but you know.
No, yeah. The door didn't close all the way.
I will close it.
Okay, I'm gonna keep talking about it.
Yeah.
So, I literally just sat there and I was already crying and I read the end, and all of a sudden my vision got so blurry, and I was like, "This is where it ends for me." I was genuinely like, "This is how I die. My family's gonna walk
Tell
in."
my mom I loved her.
But I was like, "Oh my god,
this is how it ends for me."
Yeah, I was like, my vision was getting so blurry.
I gotta write the note. I died because of this sad fan fiction written by
linked to my own like, funeral page.
You want to kill yourself? Read this fic.
Right? But then all of a sudden I was just like, I was laying down. So I was laying on my pillow. I had my phone here and I was like, I'm gonna die. And then all of a sudden my cheeks started getting cold and I was like, oh, I'm just violently, silently sobbing. I'm just sobbing so violently and so like sadly that it's just silent.
Mm-hmm.
And then I caught
like
that
laughing so hard that you're quiet, but it's
and
crying.
then I literally like just sat up and I just started just sobbing. I was just heaving. I was just like, no, no, just sobbing. And then after I recollected myself, I was like, what do I do now? I have school tomorrow.
How am I supposed to go about my life?
What do I do? What do I do? And I remember
how am I supposed to live with this knowledge?
I remember I walked into school the next day and I was just gone. I was just like, no, just somebody, no.
Hey man, you okay? Just put a sad fanfic.
Man, I'm just in fanfic recovery. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I was so screwed up because of that fanfiction. Granted, I was in middle school, I'm pretty sure, but like, that was crazy.
The fanfic that has made me cry, maybe there's a couple. There's like 4 fanfics that I'm really attached to, and they're all Tommy centric, of course, DSMP era.
Yeah, because everybody was a bitch for Tommy lore. Oh yeah.
And here's the thing too. Because I'm looking through Sherlock fics, I've fallen from grace. Not that I didn't when I was reading DSMP, but you know.
But DSMP at the time
when
was
you're reading John Locke, published in 2024 John Locke, you're like, you're sitting there and you're looking at this author's name and you're just like, you wrote this 2 weeks ago.
XXX Jungkook's toes XXX. You wrote this 2 weeks ago.
It's just like we've fallen from grace together. I don't know why, but I went through 10 pages of that and every single one I saw was a one shot and written in 2024.
Yeah.
I was like,
but then you go back to 2014 and it's XOX kitty hugs and it's sorry, English is my first language. Sorry if there's any mistakes. And it's such a gut-wrenching, heart, mind melding fic that you're never the same. That you genuinely sleep and think about that fic and you think, oh my god, what kind of person would I be without that?
Yeah. But
I'd be a terrorist without that.
Maybe I also cried because I watched the saddest animation. What did you just say? I fully blocked that out. I'm so sorry. What did you say? I'm gonna have to listen to this back.
I have to believe that, dude.
I want to hear it though. What did you say? I'll bleep it again. I have to know. I was fully on another train of thought. What did you say?
I said it without thinking.
No, what did you say? You can put your mic over here.
I know you're gonna believe it. I literally went, I would have been a terrorist without that pin.
I'm not bleeping that. No! That's too good. I would have been a terrorist without... It's like when Maddie was like, it was Brendan in class went, I once got school shooter, and Maddie went, you got that too?
It's like, that's funny on its own. I know you.
I know you.
It's unlocked.
Yeah. We're just recording a podcast episode.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah. But
We were talking about fan fiction.
I just said a crazy quote.
Can I repeat it?
Honestly, go for it.
It was, I would have been a terrorist without that fan fiction.
Is it more of this Chronicles of Narnia one they were showing? No,
Well-
that's not Kevin appropriate.
Well, the first part
hello,
of this,
more
the
people.
first part of this, no, fair. The first part of this fan fiction will never be published. Will never be released to the public.
A couple months ago,
Huh?
where, like, the main character.
No, the first half of this we were like,
Yeah.
We were talking about an old middle school fix we read.
Yeah, is it the fan fiction you were talking? The one you wrote?
oh no! I forgot about that.
Was it the Slug Terra one?
No!
Oh, that
The
was
one
the
where-
gotcha, that we were reading that together.
Oh my God,
That's
the one where
we
it just
need to
trauma
continue
dumped.
that. Yeah, I don't think we can. I was gonna say we can.
Storylines happening at once.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say we could read that aloud for a podcast episode, but I was like, that's never seeing the. That's only for. That's for. You know what? That's for my eyes and your eyes only.
I would have been
That's
a terrorist
between
without
you
that
and
fan
God.
fiction. Okay. Oh my God, no. What? No. That will never see the light of day.
That will never. As I said, it's between you, me, and God.
Yeah. And everybody else gets to see my reactions, but that's it.
It
That's-
was. We should
were you
really
there for
continue
that?
that. We
I
were
literally
reading.
at one point just stood in a corner and just cried.
The first time I saw you all year was when we were doing posters.
Fair. Honestly, fair. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, sorry for my few listeners.
Girl,
In-
it's
in
me
this
and
ro-
like two other people.
Yeah, in this room is. Can I say your guys' name? You go with that. Is Lainey, Ollie, and Andrew.
Why'd you give such a pause?
Yeah.
It's Lainey,
Ollie. I know. I was.
Ollie, Andrew.
I don't know if you were gonna be like hi or something. I don't know if they can hear you, but I don't know.
Probably
M-
barely.
maybe a little bit.
Would you like to join me on my mic?
As I. Oh, you took a step back.
You were like, no. No fair.
And they're standing there except Lainey who's sitting. And I think Ollie's eating a single fry. Like, oh, okay. And just like,
Bro, what? You have a pocket of pocket fries.
my dad does that with bread.
But that's he's a chef, so it makes a little more sense. Ollie's just Ollie.
Ollie will eat relish and tell you it's orange juice.
That was last year.
And she regrets it.
But back to this fanfic. I think
The one that I wrote?
no. I was gonna go on a tangent about fanfics that have made me cry.
Oh, fair.
It was
Perks of being a wallflower, because that's a fan fiction. I don't care if anybody says that's not
That's a
fiction.
fan fiction,
That's a
definitely.
fan fiction.
It was Passerine, which
I
was
think I've read
it was
that.
that one DSMP fic. As I was saying though, the Sherlock fics are like a lot less popular, and they got like
it's
53
a BBC
kicks.
Tumblr world.
Yeah, and like the DSMP fics, Passerine had like thousands upon
I read a
thousands
couple
of
that have
hits.
had. I read one that had 11 million,
Oh wow,
and I will not.
was
tell
it
you what the-
DSMP?
No, it was not. And
Oh, I was gonna say, was it Flowers from 1970?
No, it wasn't.
Hmm.
Actually, I should check and see what that reading. I'll do it over here so it doesn't interfere with the mic. But I'm gonna check how many reads that has now.
Okay. Is it that 1 million word Super Smash Bros fanfic that's still ongoing?
Nope, it's on Wattpad.
Oh, okay. But Passerine was so popular, and then Sadist made an animation of it, and that made me cry so hard.
I remember that. Oh my god, that was crazy.
Passerine?
Yeah, I remember.
character death?
I remember watching the edit.
The edit?
The whatever
Animation?
Animation. Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember watching that.
I read the entire. I forced myself to read the entire fic before I watched the show or the animation.
Mhm.
That like 2-minute animation broke me, and then I rewatched it recently with Jack, but it was kind of bittersweet because Wilbur is the first thing you see, and you're like, ooh, ooh. One of the fics that was really sad that almost made me cry, Ars Poetica, is actually discontinued because of that. They were like, I'm not comfortable.
Good.
They were like,
That
I'm
makes
not
me happy.
They were like, I'm not going to continue writing this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, because of this. So,
That honestly makes me
Yeah.
happy.
I don't know about the Children's Revenge, though, because that one was, like, novel. That one was a novel. And
I wrote a book called The Children's Revenge.
Oh, it's the second book. The first one was called The Children's Rebellion, and the second book is called The Children's Revenge. First book is 52 chapters. It's a fanfic. 52 chapters and 200,000 words. And it was so beautiful. But I think there's a chance that it could keep going. I don't know. I'm not active on Twitter anymore. So, you know. Y'all are in your own little world over there, huh? You guys have a Wednesday gossip hour? Oh! Service hours. You moved the mirror from the ensemble room? Yeah? There. Who was it? I'll bleep it. Oh my god!
Oh my god, no, tell me, I wasn't listening. I heard that.
It was Doubles.
What about Doubles? I don't know what that means.
That's the code name.
Doubles? Tell me!
Do you know who that is?
Yes, because I heard the name. I didn't
Okay.
hear the story.
Oh.
So.
We got death flared because we moved the mirror away from the windows in the ensemble room.
Like, you know the mirror that we put in front of the ensemble room door when, like, guys are changing in there?
Okay, go in there. That's
It was,
the
like,
ensemble room.
just sitting in
That's
there.
the ensemble room.
Oh,
Okay.
We're getting a display.
This is the window, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We took the mirror to see who was in there. So we wouldn't open the door and disturb who was ever in there.
Yeah.
Thinking smartly. Took the mirror. She's in there doing probably a flip or something.
But she was in there all afternoon. She was there when we left.
Right? So I took the mirror, or Ollie took the mirror, and then I took it from her because she was struggling. But then she looked up and kind of looked at us like, "Are you serious?" Which makes sense because she's in the middle of something. And then
But
we
also,
put the mirror back and we were in right next to right out there in that almost intersection area.
yeah, no, yeah.
She's out. She came out of the door talking to Emmanuel. I don't know why. He was just there, and proceeds to step out, stand like this almost, or
No.
halfway in and out kind of thing. And me and Andrew were there, and Ollie went into the choir room. But we were sitting there, and we both look over, and she's just like.
And I'm just like, let's just walk.
You know,
What was she doing in there?
Run away.
She can never know about this podcast because the way me and Jean shit talked her the first episode.
I'm pretty sure me and you shit talked her too.
Maybe a bit. I
A
know
little bit.
I had to cut out a lot from in between sections of me and Jean's because of specific instances and stuff like that. But I hope she never finds it. But also at the same time, we never said her name, so she could be like, "Did you talk about me?" And I could be like, "So you heard us talking about someone who tells people to kill themselves, and you thought it was about you?"
Yourself?
Ooh, spicy.
You gotta share your podcast because that actually
Yeah, it's called Lucy's Luncheon.
Oh, hold on. I need to
YouTube and Spotify.
you said I could be a guest sometime.
Yeah.
Wait.
Come on, man! I'm trying to find this fic.
I'm recently rereading a My Hero Academia fic that I read on Wattpad. Not my first one, because that one was horrible. This one was good with lore. That's why I wanted to reread it.
Lucy's Luncheons. How long?
Luncheon. That's how it's spelled.
How
Eon.
long are these podcast episodes?
It varies. The first one was 47 minutes. The second one with Hudson was an hour and a half. This one, we're currently at an hour and 10.
But this is gonna be so many cuts.
There's so many cuts in this one.
But if my mom sends
Honestly,
that
I don't know
email,
if I
I'll
can
be
air
pressed.
this episode.
Honestly, probably not.
Probably not. We'll just re-record another day.
It's fine.
I'm here next week apparently for stage managing stuff, so
Fair. I have no life. So.
you'll be here for Tech Week too, though.
Yeah!
You'll be here for Tech Week though, so that'll work too.
That's next week?
No,
Oh my god, I was like, no way.
God,
you're
no.
kidding.
they're blocking next week.
Okay, I was.
Oh,
We have choreo the week before testing still, I think.
That's crazy. Who are you again?
I'm a turtle and a parent.
I love that.
Did you see Theo's poster?
No.
Oh, the joke poster. It's it's Andrew's face plastered on a
Nemo?
clownfish, on a clownfish, and it's got two thumbs up that are like this.
I want to see it.
Because when
Oh, that's
Hawkins
funny.
emailed Raven asking, what do you thought of
What's the poster?
Raven responded with two thumbs up.
Okay.
What?
And then Hoffman told Thea that they should make buttons of it.
Yeah.
Oh
like-
my god, I would buy those.
When you mean it, like a cutout of Andrew's face, it's like the roughest cutout of his face. that
On
was,
top of it, like, it's not edited, so it's like Andrew's face, orange fish.
I
great.
need to see that. That's hilarious.
Mhm.
They're in the band room.
They're printed?
No, like.
Oh my god, wait.
Theo's in the band room.
Oh, I'm going.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Hey, Lainey, hop on the mic.
the way you ran.
I got 3 minutes till
Hello. Hello.
Hello there.
Welcome. Andrew's by the mic too. Ollie's coming over.
I love how they all joined the podcast when I left.
Well, because we didn't want to take up your time. Or at least that's what I
wanna
was
go see
doing.
this poster again.
Okay, then go see the poster.
So how has your life been, especially since spring break? I haven't really talked to you in a while.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally believe that.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah. Sorry, my
Had
I
multiple
don't-
instances today.
Oh my goodness. Try and keep your phone away from the mic
Yeah.
just in case, because it'll make noises. Yeah. It makes like a it's interference. Thanks for that. You guys you're not in Nemo, right? Are you just
No,
here?
I said that I would do tech,
Oh, okay.
and Miss
Awesome.
Rayburn was like, "Cool, put you on the email list."
There's no email sent out yet, so
I know.
yeah. I know you're here for rehearsal. Oh, that's why you're here.
I'm in the band concert,
Yeah,
so I'm just
that's
chilling.
why. Yeah. All right. Any talk.
Hi. I'm talking. 1, 2, 3.
Maybe. I don't know.
ABC.
If this episode gets aired, it will leave it up for interpretation what you're saying if they can't hear you.
Okay.
I guess we'll stay on topic. Fan fictions.
Never read one.
Wow. You guys are boring.
I learned about them last year when I came to TG.
Damn.
That was the first time I ever heard of one, and that
Of a
wasn't until like
Okay.
January.
I want you to know that when I say fanfic, I don't mean /fic, where it's like really sexual. I mean fantastical world building, multiple chapters, hundreds of thousands of words, like, you know.
That sounds amazing.
I heard
Yeah.
of one from Owl House X Duolingo Bird.
No. It was Hedwig x Duolingo, and what's his name? Hootie from the Owl House made a guest appearance and was killed
Oh, yeah. That one.
because Hootie and Duo were brothers, and Hedwig and Duo, who later, you know, fraternize in the fic. That's what the fic is about, actually. Duo and Hedwig have like a blood kink, so Duo kills his brother, and Hedwig gets turned on by it. It's labeled, one of the tags is incorrect anatomy as well. So when Hedwig is first introduced in this like 900 word fic, it's like sweet supple curves, and it's an owl. It's an owl. It's titled I read this. Here's the thing. I hope you can tell that I read this. It's titled Birds of a Feather Fuck Together, and the first line is like, Duo knew what he wanted. Tonight was the night he fucked Hedwig. And it was like, hey, yo, all right, we're not even, okay, just
Calm down.
right into it.
Take a breather.
And I think the last line is, he knew what he wanted. He wanted cock and ball torture. And that's the last line.
Okay.
So I've been under a rock for the past 15 years of my life.
This was new. Okay, this was a fic because Theo and Cass came up with this game to find the most outrageous fics and send them to each other. And Cass has since turned it into the Cass will read anything, right? So you just send it, so, you know, trying to find just crazy things. And of course, you know, Hedwig is from Harry Potter, so by association, Harry Potter fics have some of the weirdest, most fucked up shit happen in them.
Oh, I bet.
Don't get me started on Harry Potter fan art.
Oh, Lord. I don't even want to.
But, and the thing is, too, with fanfic, with me, I only ever, here's my transitions to fanfic, and it's sad. It's really sad, the kind, like, the genres, not the genres, the fandoms they are. It was first My Hero Academia. Not proud of that. Then it was Dream SMP. But those have some really good world building fics, but not proud to say that it was, in fact, a Dream SMP fic. If you change those characters' names, it could be sold as a novel. But, you know, do I want to be associated with that time in my life or most of those people anymore? No. Anywho. And then now it's Sherlock. Like the BBC show Sherlock. And you may not know this, either of you, because... Well, I don't know about you, but Ollie had a flip phone until, like, last year.
Okay, you know what?
My brother has one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Carol has one, so basically I'm kind of better.
That's so funny, though. Honestly.
Wow. Anywho. What was I talking about? Oh, Sherlock BBC in, like, 2013 had a live, like, really vibrant fandom on Tumblr. Tumblr.gov.
That's what it is?
No.
Oh.
It's tumblr.com, but I say tumblr.gov because it's funny. Tumblr.edu. It had a really avid fan base, and that turned into Super Wholock, which was the combination of the fandoms Supernatural, Doctor Who, and Sherlock. And John Locke, the ship between John Watson and Sherlock Holmes, which, let's be honest, has existed probably since the original books came out. Because those men are gay. But,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you solve crimes together? Oh, you're gay. Sorry.
Thinking about it now, yeah.
Yeah. John Watson and Sherlock Holmes are more than homies.
Oh. They really are partners.
Yeah.
They really are partners.
But I started watching the show with my mom, and then I went, uh-oh. And I looked up fanfiction. I looked up Sherlock fanfic on AO3. And I skipped Wattpad. I went straight to AO3 because I knew that's where the lore would be. The first one I read, this was a mistake too because it made my standards so high. The first one I read was a one-shot, which means it's only one chapter. And it was 10,000 words. And it was this, like, 1800s sea voyage AU. And it was a slight slow burn, but they, like, confessed their love. It was so good. And then no other fic I've read of that fandom has compared. You good? What are you doing? Are you guys buying buttons?
I think that was her student ID.
No, that was their credit card.
Oh.
Yeah. So had just walked in and didn't say a single word, grabbed their wallet, took out their credit card, and walked out. So I don't know what's happening now, but I think they're gonna buy buttons.
Buy buttons of Andrew's face plastered on a fish.
On a fish. But yeah, that was the fanfic, and it was so good. And then I searched and searched through 10 pages of AO3. There's thousands of pages, but I searched through like 10 or so pages, which is a lot of fanfictions. Only 2 of them ever reached above 1 chapter.
Oh.
And they were all published in 2024.
That's
which I thought was crazy. It just means I have to sift through the next 1,000 pages to find something that was, you know, rife with 2013 Tumblr, you know, whatever. Because, like, there's this... I'm going to educate you on just everything fanfic.
Okay, let me know.
So, there are a few fanfic sites. The 2 most popular are Wattpad, which is formatted with a lot of ads and stuff like that, because it's promoted content. You can promote stuff you can have stuff on there for free, but there's also things that you have to pay to read. There's like a system, there's like Wattpad coins or whatever that you can get to buy certain books on Wattpad. Or you can just put fanfiction on there. If you're putting fanfiction on Wattpad, you're likely a 12-year-old. By the way. It's likely some poorly written /fic that is, once again, poorly written and not good because you're 12. And it's usually fetishizing, like, gay men. Here's the thing. Most of the fanfics you'll find on a fandom, if they're ship fics, which means they're putting 2 characters. You know what a ship is.
Yeah.
Great.
I haven't been under a rock that much.
Yeah. So if they're ship fics, it's likely between 2 men.
Fair enough.
That's just how the world works, apparently. And then the next most likely would be a straight ship. It's not as likely, but still a more likely option than a 2 girls or 2 women, like WLW fic. That's super rare, and it's even rarer if it's good. So, and that's a whole other can of worms of like, there's not enough because we focus on men too much. I don't know. There's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, and also like 12-year-olds fetishizing gay men. You know, that's what those fics are. But to fetishize gay men, it's like seeing them as like, you know, writing pretty much gay porn of these 16-year-old characters from My Hero Academia because, you know, they're 2 boys.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Of course.
They spend any time together.
Yeah, of course. And then there's also an issue with, like, when can 2 men just be friends, you know? But also sometimes it's like when it's Sherlock and John Watson, you're like, come on, they want to kiss, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's characters, you know, you're just like, can we normalize this just because it's an issue in our world? But it's also fan fiction. So don't take fan fiction seriously. If you're taking fan fiction seriously, get a life.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then there's AO3, which stands for Archive of Our Own. So Archive of Our Own. There's 3 O's, so it's AO3.
Smart.
Yeah. That one, I like the format of that one better just because it's also a nonprofit. So, like, you're not going to find anything on there that's for sale. You know,
nice.
It's all like, and it's mostly fan fictions, but there are a ton of original works. I've posted some original work on there. Nothing completed, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I like reading on there more just because reading on there makes me feel better and it feels more professional, just the way it's formatted. There's no ads. It's just words, you know? And the tags. I like the tags better. Don't know why. I don't know why. And the searching option on there is a lot easier.
That's nice.
Because you can filter your search. You can be like, I want this fandom, only completed works, and then you search it. It's not like Wattpad where you have to look up the title and, you know, you just have a search bar. Which sometimes can be nice to have just a search bar if you're looking for something specific, like, you know, but it's nice to have a filtered search. I like reading on AO3 because it also is usually where the better writers go.
Fair enough.
If you're writing on AO3, you're likely late high school and possibly an adult.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I like talked so much I need to breathe.
I understand that.
Yeah. So, and I really like AO3. But then there's I think there's a fanfic website that actually has fanfic in its name. I don't know. Those are the 2 I know of. I know there's more, but they're not nearly as popular. I think there's one that's older, that is for even older people. Not like middle age, but you know.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, Star Trek fanfiction really hit it off when that was a thing, so you know.
Oh, I can't imagine.
A popular form of fanfiction, or like fix-it fic, is when Lord of the Rings came out in book form, book or movie, or mostly book, I think, which is 1930s. And it was like fix it, where you insert yourself into the book and you help them figure it out because you know what's happening.
That's a interesting.
Yeah. So like you go there and you're like, no, don't go in there. Smeagol's trying to kill you. You know, kind of vibe. Because like
characters are just like, well, how do you know that? What are you doing?
You know, and it was, you know, whatever. But like fanfics have been around forever. People are just like, you know what? I'm gonna fix this or whatever. Those are the 2 big fanfiction websites. Some huge fanfic phenomena, or like well-known fanfics. We're gonna start with My Immortal, which is the horrible. It's posted on Wattpad if you want to read it. The entire thing feels like one run-on sentence. It's written so horribly. My Immortal is a like Harry Potter fanfiction, but they're all goth and vampires. But this is like early 2000s, 2010s era. Oh. So it's like the main character's name. Want to know the main character's name?
Spill it.
Ebony, Darkness, Dementia, Raven, Way. Way as in Gerard Way. The first line is, "My name's Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way." Not like Gerard Way. I wish I was related to him because he's a hottie. Gerard Way is the front man of My Chemical Romance.
I don't think I've ever heard a more what I would expect fanfiction to sound like.
It's bad. And it's like, oh, it's so bad because she's also depressed. She was like, and I got ready to go to this concert with Draco, but I was feeling depressed, so I slit my wrist. So I cut myself, and I watched it bleed for a moment before putting my sleeve back down. Hunty girly pop. That's
Hold on.
not how that works.
Whoa.
Hey, yo. Yeah.
Calm down.
That's my immortal. It's very, like, peak, emo culture in the early 2000s. Like, I think what concert did they go to? I forgot what concert she went to, but she was like, and I hate that bitch he's dating.
Is it One Direction?
No. It was like, it's not Pierce the Veil, but it was, I'm getting there. I can't look it up on my computer because it's blocked. Wattpad's blocked, rightfully so.
Yeah.
I wish AO3 wasn't blocked. AO3 also has, like, it has those slash fics, but they're, like, more intricately written because they're mostly written by, like, adults. Yeah. And also it has, like, the, novel worthy, if you change these characters' names, then this could be a novel,
That's nice.
Things that shouldn't have changed their characters' names and become franchised into movies were the After fics, which you may have heard about. After is a movie. It's got like 5 movies. After You, something like that. It goes on. Those are Harry Styles fanfictions.
Oh.
Except they changed the main guy, Harry, into Harden. That's his name. And he's a bitch. It's like bad boy Harry Styles.
Oh, no.
There's this girl. And then they fuck. But I think this is the one. I think this is the right fic. But he did it as a bet. And the evidence was he kept the bloody sheets.
Whoa.
She found out. Yeah, it was. And then she stayed with him. She stayed with him. It's so bad. I watched those. I watched the first, maybe the second one with Hudson at their house.
Scary.
It was. Yeah, it was. Oh. Sorry, I just remembered so many of the other like fanfic things that I've like experienced with Hudson. Like, oh my god, we did read this really good fic. I forgot what it was called. But it was Merlin, and bear with me here. It was Merlin, like the show.
Okay.
Mpreg. Do you want to take a wild guess to what that is?
I don't know.
Mpreg stands for male pregnancy. And so that fic, it was actually really good. It was actually so good. Usually when a fic is Mpreg, it is ABO, which means Alpha, Beta, Omega, or Omegaverse, which is essentially when they are kind of wolf-like and pheromonal. And the omegas will go into heat, and if you're a boy omega, you can get pregnant. because your reproductive like qualities rely on if you're an omega or not. Because going into heat is essentially the animal like being like, well, gotta have babies now.
Yeah.
Like that's what heat is, and they implemented it into humans. That's what Omegaverse is.
Some people are strange.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Just some.
You watched me talk about that Duolingo fanfic. Someone wrote that. Someone wrote that. Think about this. Someone wrote that.
I forget that like this isn't just like
yeah.
something that's on the internet.
No,
somebody
this was not AI generated. Somebody sat down and typed Someone had that idea, and they put it for the rest of the world to see.
And I was like, this is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna write this.
Do you ever think about how before Jesus sacrificed himself, he saw every sin? He saw that. He saw all the things, all the sins we were committing. He saw that, and he still decided to sacrifice himself.
He's like, man, come on
He saw furries. He saw like the bad side of furrydom, and was like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for you guys.
He's like, you guys need more help than just me. But here we go. We'll start it here.
Yeah. So someone wrote that, but the Merlin one was actually so good because it wasn't ABO. It was like explained by magic because Merlin is a sorcerer and like it had something to do with dragons. So he got pregnant, but it was really good. It was good because like he had to leave. He went away and he was like with the druids and then he gave birth, but the birth, they didn't detail it, which I appreciated.
Details are great, and then sometimes details are not great.
I don't like detailed births in anything. I feel like it, especially if it's like in a show and it's a lot of screaming and like yelling, it feels kind of torture fetishy.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
kind of like this
feels,
hold on here.
Yeah, like why are there so many forms of media that picture women giving birth? The whole laying down on your back thing while giving birth is a fetish thing. Yeah. It started because a doctor wanted to see it happen.
Yeah.
He liked to see it happen.
For sure.
Like, no, that's 100%. Like that's confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are they doing? I'm sorry, they haven't come back in.
Well,
I might have to end the episode without them, but like, did they even take their phone with them? It's not around, so I assume so. Oh, is it still recording? Okay, sorry. My Google crashed. I was like, but this is a separate. This is a separate application entirely, so it's unrelated. Yeah, I'll just have to restart an assignment that I was recording. It's fine. It's totally not a test grade. Anywho, we were talking about Merlin. So, and then he like had the baby, and then came back, and Arthur's the dad. King Arthur.
Whoa.
But this is the show, so they look like they're 20.
Okay.
It's not like bearded
That's
Merlin and like, you know. So it's like 20-year-old King Arthur, 20-year-old Merlin.
Okay. That's a little bit better.
And in the show, it's another
strange,
BBC show where you're like, so they're kissing? So they have to kiss. They want to kiss each other, you know?
Like, I see you over there.
Yeah. And then like, but it also had lore of like Morgana betraying them and then having her fall from grace and then rising back into grace. It was great. And then Arthur was like, you just have this child? And then Merlin was like, hey, it's yours.
Whoa. Whoa.
And he was like,
he spilled.
Yeah, but that's also because when Merlin found, well, after they, you know, did the deed, which wasn't in the fic. It was like, the fic started after it. Okay. The fic started and it was like Merlin was thinking about it but was never detailed, which I kind of appreciated. Yeah. You know, because I felt like nice. The rest of the fic wasn't about it. It wasn't about that. It was about the fact that he was pregnant. Yeah. And it was like their relationship. After the fact of that happening, Arthur did not talk to Merlin as much as he could. And it was like he was ghosting him, but in real life because it's medieval times.
Oh, yeah.
And so Merlin found out he was pregnant and ran away. Because he can't, I mean, come on. Come on. He can't just, like, give, like, you know, it would be weird.
Yeah. Especially if Arthur was the dad. Imagine just being around and being like, I'm sorry, you said what?
Being a guard at that castle would be crazy. Just like,
I'm sorry, you said what over there?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, we're at 1 hour and 37 minutes. Anywho. Not my longest episode so far. Actually close, but we're gonna have to make cuts of this. So many cuts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm still like, how long does it take to buy some buttons?
Well, they haven't printed the thing yet.
If they want to buy buttons, they can just probably plaster on something and order like clothes. Yeah. They might be making shirts.
They better be. And they better be getting me one.
If we had a pit. Oh, my mother's calling. We might have to end this. I will have to end the episode without them. Anywho, that was my mother. Glad we could talk about fanfic. I have to put all of this equipment away now.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, but you get to help. Oh.
I don't know where any of it goes, but that's okay.
I will teach you. So I guess thank you for tuning into this episode of Lucy's Luncheon.